this way, it means your rocker arm is not pushing down on the valve as much as it should. That is what a dropped valve seat looks like. What's up, Buck Dog with Deity in the garage? No, you are not seeing double. 2 Jeeps back. It's my beloved Ruby, my 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This bad boy is a DOA that just kind of followed me home. It's a 2002 4.7. No idea what's wrong with her. Got a couple of hints from the previous owner. Let's go to the hood under there real quick and try to talk about those hints that previous owner gave us. See if we can't figure out this DOA situation. Alrighty, friends, this is actually a racing hood. You can see it's pretty significantly weight reduced, which is nice. So if you're racing, that's lightweight for you. Good deal. Race Jeep, excellent. And the hood supports. Well, they don't support the hood, no big deal. Oh, Rubies don't either. That's why I got this tube of fur. So we're missing the battery, no big deal. We're missing the plastic from the intake, no big deal, I guess. Loose AC compressor. Engine Earl is Earl colored and overfilled. I'm sure that's not a problem. Overfilled is always scary. Underfilled less so. Transmission has transmission fluid in it, so that's good. I do notice the power steering is completely empty, and that is concerning on these Jeeps because the power steering is part of the cooling fan system. If you don't know, it sucks, but it's a hydraulic fan. It's run off the power steering pump. I will link one of my million other videos on the 4.7 cooling system there if you want to know. We're holding coolant, even though the overflow jug is empty. It was sitting a year. Previous owner told me they took it to a shop to get the blower motor looked at. It drove there fine. When they went to drive it into the shop, it had a horrific dead miss. And it's had a horrific dead miss ever since. They parked it. It's been there for a year. I'm assuming because the battery's missing, the battery tray is missing, this is loose, the intake stuff is missing, that the previous owner was thinking what I'm thinking, and we probably wiped a rocker. I'm thinking a lifter collapsed. These are hydraulic lifters. If you know the 4.7, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'm hoping is the problem. So long story short, what we're gonna do today, I'm gonna throw a battery and see if I can get her to crank over, see if I can hear that dead miss for myself. Then we're gonna start pulling valve covers, and God willing, there'll be a rocker that just bink, popped right out, and maybe it didn't even do any damage. You can slip it in and hit the road. Do I have spare lifters inside? Yeah, somewhere in stock I have lifters. If not, we'll get more Melling lifters or something. I have a video. If you're watching this video hoping to find out how to do lifters, don't even worry about it. I already have a video on how to do lifters in a 4.7. That's what I'm hoping it is. So without further ado, let's find a battery, throw it in, and well, actually, let's go to the trunk real quick, see if we can find the plastic bits that are missing. Because I don't think they're... Man, this thing's pretty nice inside. It's got that tan interior I love. Sunroof, she's all done up. Ooh, the beautiful 02 gauges. So that's the gauges they went to for 02, 03, and 04. And they're the limited, give me this. And they're the limited gauges for 99, 2000, and 2001. So you can see just a little bit different, but man, they're good looking. I've owned a bunch of 99, 2000s, no, I've had a 2002. I've never owned an 04 WJ. So if anybody wants to sell me an 04 real cheap, I've owned a mess of 2000s, 2001s, and 2002s. Did I own a 99? I owned one 99 for like 10 minutes. Anyway, oh goodness, hey, the rear struts. Look at that, let's do that again. And parts. Let's see, there's your battery tray. We're gonna have to plug that in because it'll throw a code without it, because there's like a, I guess it's a heat sensor there. Oh, I was kind of hoping it might be the HO, but it's not. Here's your schnoozle tube, an STP filter. A brand new filtry. That's good. Yeah, she looks pretty good, man. Oh, sunroof trim's falling down. That's a bummer. And these sills are all shot to shite. I actually have a video on how to change these as well on a WJ. So this thing ain't perfect, but what's this? What's going on there? She's pretty nice though. All in all, keys, beautiful. My understanding is that this is blower motor related. I don't know, we'll have to deal with that. I have an extra battery over here. I know I said you need the battery tray, but fork it. This is proof of concept. Let's see if this thing does anything. Well, it buzzed at me. That's a good sign. Is there anything? Oh, it's Might as well just take this serpentine belt all the way off since the AC compressor is not connected. We obviously won't be charging, but let's see if we can just get her to dial. What do you say? Oh, brother. Oh my goodness. That is one gummy, ugly throttle body Christmas. So if we get her running, she's gonna need some things. Let's see though. Wonder how much fuel's in her. Well, I wonder if that battery's even doing it. Hey, I heard a beep. Beeps are good. Huh. Whoa! She started right up. Wonder if this means I could get it up the driveway. Oh man, I'd love to not have this thing be landlocked in the road. Should we try to drive it? That's a terrible idea because there's probably a rocker banging around in that head and you're gonna break something, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Alrighty friends, now I understand that the fact that she ran 5 minutes into this video kind of makes it look like a pretty terrible DOA, but we still have no idea what that misfire was. I just want to get it up the driveway so we're not working on her in the road. The town gets real upset when I leave DOAs in the road during the winter because, you know, snow plows. Holy Halliburton, Batman. No power steering, no brakes, shaking like a leaf. She's up here and she drove. Tells me the tran's pretty good. Tells me a lot of things, a lot of good things. I'll bet my scanner is in this stupid Subaru. I was working on this thing this morning. You wanna see something crazy? There's gonna be some videos coming on this. Look at the spark plug I pulled out of this Subaru this morning. That one. I think something's wrong in cylinder 2. So we pulled all kinds of crap. This thing's gonna get a motor, but I'll bet my scanner's in here somewheres. Hey, another battery, in case we need it. Scanner? Scanner! Aha! I knew it! Scanner! Scanner Danner. That's mostly the reason I keep so many cars around, because I've found that junk cars are cheaper than sheds. Alrighty friends, let's see about scanning this thing. Our job would be a whole lot easier if we didn't have to guess which side the misfire's on. One code. Yes, read the code. Of course I want you to read the code. Oh, it's a manufacturer code. It's a, oh come on, it's just a battery sensor light. Ambient battery temp sensor high. I know that. I said that was gonna happen. That's unfortunate. That's the only code it had. Huh. Certainly sounds like a misfire to me. All right. Well, let's pull the easy side first. Alrighty friends, usually the easy side is the driver's side because there's less stuff in the way, but somebody's already been taking apart the passenger side. They clearly thought that this is where the misfire was, so we're gonna follow that train on down. What you gotta do is fold your AC condenser out of the way if you're not gonna drain your system, which I'm not. Next thing we're gonna do is remove, or not remove, just move. Yeah, remove these two heater core lines. Oh, brother. All right. There we go. Aw, man, this thing's full of green coolant. Gosh darn it. Don't nobody know nothing about nothing anymore? So if you don't know, these 4.7s are supposed to be filled with the orange flavored coolant, or at the very least the pink. The green will melt your darn aluminum heads, but whatever. I guess no one really cares about that stuff anymore. This PCB is broken anyway. Might as well bend this out of the way. I'm probably gonna disco this harness from the alternator. So what I'm trying to do here is just build up a little bit of flexibility in this harness by removing the alternator stuff. There we go. Now we can get that harness all the way over to the side. Now we got to remove our injector plugs. They are such a pain in the butt. They've got the little red Chrysler tabs on them, and they all just are desperate to break. They are desperate to break. And then, fun. See? I was being careful too. I swear I was. And then you have to wonder, like, is my injector wire gonna pop off? Maybe that's why my next misfire is. Alrighty, friends. Huh. Yeah, that 8mm bolt. Oh no, it was just spinning in there. I hope it didn't do any damage. Christmas. Yeah, we pulled the fastener right out of her. That's not great. So that's supposed to stay inside the computer. I really hope we didn't just mess up this harness. Not as worried about the computer because I can get another one of those, but rerunning this harness would be a bridge too far. Yeah, we ain't doing that. Let's see if we can't spin that bad guy off of there, and I don't know, hope for the best, right? Oh, that fastener's gone, but the thing it goes into is broken anyway, so I ain't too worried about it. That's something we'll have to figure out another day. I really hope, though, yeah, it looks like, I can't really show you all in there, but the computer wasn't damaged. We're gonna pull this harness up out of the way. Ah, beautiful. Now it'll give us a little bit of mobility there. Good morning, friends. I waited till the morning so we had some nice natural light for filming. When I went to bed last night after getting this valve cover off, I didn't really think we had any smoking guns here. Let me show you what I was looking for. This is a 4.7 rocker arm. Right here, roller rocker arm, and a hydraulic lifter, okay? What happens is this gets pumped up with oil, and it essentially is an automatic valve lash adjuster. They're really great. You never have to adjust your valves, but they do collapse over time. You see, this is one I pulled out of Ruby a few years ago. See that play? That play means your rocker arm is not pushing down on the valve as much as it should be. It's not opening your valve as much as it should be. Which could absolutely lead to performance issues, possibly even the no check engine light stumbly misfire that we're experiencing today. Now let me show you what I found. Let's look at one that's on top dead center here. So cylinder 4 here, this, I don't know if it's intake or exhaust to be honest, but it's on top dead center. Right, so the lobe is all the way up, putting no pressure really on, no extra pressure on the rocker arm. You see, I can't move that, right? It's still pretty well locked in. Even one over here, you can see there's a little bit of play in this, but not too much. The lobe's over here, it's just beginning to be compressed. Now let me show you one other cylinder that is slightly different. Alrighty, friends, number 2. This first cylinder on this passenger side here, lobe is all the way up, should be adding no extra pressure, and you can see this rocker is totally loose. So let's pop this rocker arm out real quick. Using our custom Martin-built bent wrench. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Martin-built has a great, or this is his technique for pulling these out. He bent up a 10mm, and he just puts a little forward pressure, and then he drops his wrench down into no man's land. Let's try that one again. Put your wrench right under there. And you should, what was he doing? Was he popping backwards? I thought he just rolled it forward. There we go. Now, pull our rocker arm out. There's never any damage on the rocker arms. Where we're seeing our issue is this guy right here. Well, it's pumped up pretty well. Huh. If you look at it compared to that other one I was showing you with Ruby before, you can see the one that came out of Ruby is pushed in more and it's got a lot of play. So I'm a little surprised in this lifter. I expected to see more of a smoking gun, but if that lifter wasn't collapsed, why was there play on that rocker? It shouldn't have been like that. That lifter wasn't bad. Let's do a compression test on that cylinder where the rocker was a little bit loosey-goosey. You guys take a look at what we're seeing there. So they removed the fuel pump relay, so we're just gonna crank her over. Yeah, you're seeing what I was seeing. Zero compression. I did test it on the cylinder behind it just to make sure the tester was working, and that cylinder Tested at 155, so dang it, we got a dead hole. If I was a betting man, she dropped a valve seat, and that's why the valve is not compressing enough, and that's why there's play in the rocker there. So I'm gonna go inside and think. Let me talk to Eric, and I mean, the head's got to come off if anything, and I'm just not sure that this is that motor, so I don't know. Let me go inside and come up with a plan of attack, and then we'll continue this video. What is up, friends? It's fresh Saturday morning, ready to get back at this thing. I think the only thing for it is to pull off the intake and get this head off and confirm that we actually have a dropped valve seat, because that's what it's looking like. Loose rocker, no compression. That's what we're feeling. So I'm gonna go through, disconnect all the connectors that are over and around the intake here. We'll pop this intake out, get this head off, and then get it over to the bench and see what we're up against. All right, friends, here's a quick little tip on these 4-7 coils. They get so seized down in there, but I feel like they gave us this little indent there to extricate them. Go ahead, take your pry bar, get it on the stud of the last one, and right there, just a little bit of pressure, and she'll pop right up. And you can slip her right out without aggravating it and busting 11 of your knuckles. When I was taking the intake bolts out, I did break one. So if this engine ends up being savable, we may or may not have to contend with that. Maybe we'll just slather a little extra bit of that good stuff, that RTV on there. I admit, I don't know what sensor this is. That's cooling out right here on the front of the intake. It's got to be some kind of mass air, maybe, something or another. I don't know. I'll look it up later if I get it out. Yeah, that intake feels very free. I really want to weasel it around this fuel line. I didn't intend on taking that out. Now, if we can adjust that thing back a little bit and get it over this fuel rail, she'll pop right out. You're gonna have to bend your dipstick out of the way. Just get over it. If you're doing this job, just start bending your dipstick. It's gonna make things a heck of a lot easier than removing it all the way down there on the block. There we go. Oh, throttle body's gonna have to come off, isn't it? I either have to take the throttle body off, or I have to take the fuel rail off, I think. All right, let's start with throttle body, because I was gonna take that off anyway to clean it if we put this whole thing back together. This fuel rail looks a little bit crusty. I'd rather not mess with it if we don't have to, though I feel like we're gonna end up having to. Whoa. This is an extremely disgusting throttle body. I mean, what is that, mold? Is it going moldy on the inside? That's not even close to enough. I don't think I can pry this fuel rail down enough without damaging it. So I guess I don't really have to disconnect the fuel rail from the supply line. Let's see if I can. Got these cheap little fuel line removal tools. Let's see if they work. Oh, they do. And these, I mean, these are cheaper than cheap. So I guess if you're working on the 4.7 anyway, just get the cheap ones. Hey, if y'all don't have one of these little screwdrivers with the magnet on the end, you're doing yourself a disservice. This is like my favorite tool I own. Super useful when you're doing disassembly. Now that clip just, she went for it. So I don't know where that one went. That's okay. 7 out of 8 ain't bad, especially on a motor like this. Pulling leaves out of the inside of the head, no big deal. It's gonna be fine, I promise. Alrighty, there we go. Gonna go down the line, sort of unseat these as we go, as gently as we can. Start pouring fuel all over the driveway. Oh, now it's really a party. Come on, one more. There we go. And there is what am I connected to? Oh, I took a whole injector with me. Whoops. Oh, one of the injectors did not want to come off the fuel rail. This fuel rail is junk. Probably get a new one of these. We end up keeping this Jeep. Might pull all these injectors out. They look pretty grody. I don't know if you at home are getting the same vibe I'm getting it. This motor probably ain't running again. This injector's friggin' cracked. I'm sure that's not a problem. Let's put you back in that hole. Someone remind me to actually install that before we try to run this later. Alrighty friends, I'm pretty sure if we get this alternator out of the way, we will have our intake out, which would be super nice. These alternator bolts are such a barrel of monkeys. Steel bolts through an aluminum alternator into an aluminum housing. Wow, the bottom of this alternator is cracked too. This whole Jeep is just really very KO'd. I don't get the feeling she's got a lot of life left, but you never know. Oh yeah, oh, actually, this alternator is seized up tight. I'm glad I didn't try to run this. Goodness. It sat for about a year, so alternator probably seized over that amount of time. Let's see about getting this intake out now. We're gonna have to pull the temp sensor for the coolant. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, now without further ado, 4.7 intake. Come on, baby. There she blows. Would you look at that? Got Missy Mouse nest, winter food supply for some squirrels, a bunch of fuel, oh, a bunch of rot. Oh boy, this thing is rough, bud. Alrighty friends, I've been pulling the head bolts out. I'm gonna try to pull most of this head with the exhaust on. I kind of wanted to do as little disassembly as I had to confirm that the piston is or is not good. Alrighty, I think we're just gonna pull this timing gear right off. Alright, now we're officially forked. Now we've really done it. Alright, there we go. And we're gonna do the unthinkable and let that guy drop down in there. I really don't think this head has any life left. I think it's gonna be completely KO'd, which is why I'm really not taking very many precautions with it. Alright friends, we pulled the camshaft on that side. This right here is the cylinder we're having an issue with. I mean, I don't see any evidence of cam damage all along this whole thing here, so I really don't think it was the cam. I think it was probably the valve seat. That's what we're trying to figure out. Let's get back to tearing his motor down. Not the cam though. Ooh, buddy bug, I don't mind telling you, I had a heck of a time finding the right Torx. I found this gear wrench T40 that was able to fit through the access hole and index right in there to get this chain guide out of the way. Ooh, buddy buck, I will tell you what, sawzalls are way easier than socket wrenches for removing exhaust from rusty, dusty, crusty motors. Let's get this thing back on all fours some. There we go. All right. Holy Halliburton, we got some results there, kids. What I'm thinking, oh, we may just prop this up right here on this chain guide. It'll let us. That's all we need to see. Guys, that is what a dropped valve seat looks like. It's one of the things that happens to the 4.7 and the 3.7 when they get a little bit hot. This prevents this valve from sealing. You don't have any compression in there. You have a misfire. Another thing it'll do is damage the piston. Alrighty. Ah, shucks. That is the top of the piston that you are looking at right there. And as you can see, with that valve not seated all the way up, that piston came around and she gave her the old smack, 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 smack. And there's actually debris inside of this cylinder head. Bit of metal debris. Here's kind of looking from another angle. Some of you might be saying, well, shoot, it's not all the way through. Just put another head on and send it. That's not how that works. As soon as that piston is in any way damaged, you're gonna have hot spots. It's gonna wanna blow through, burn through. You can't trust it. There'd be no sense putting any time or money into this. Which is why I did this goofy half off, half on head thing. Why put a bunch of hours into fighting with exhaust fasteners if this motor's got to come out anyway? Yeah, so not exactly what I was hoping we were gonna find on this one. Again, was really hoping she'd be an easy win to add to our list of DOA vehicles here. So y'all let me know what you guys would have done. Would you even bother going this far? Would you taken her further? Would you already be in the junkyard pulling parts with new pistons and head gaskets on their way from Rock Auto? If you're gonna want to see the rest on this Jeep, you're just gonna have to subscribe, because we're definitely gonna do some more videos on this thing. I will do my best to get every ounce out of her. If she ends up in a yard, I promise we'll get every good bit out of her before she goes. Or maybe there's one of y'all that would like to have this rolling chassis. That's another thing. Before I go partner out, if anybody wants this thing, $1,000 bucks. $1,000. That's what it would be worth to me to sell to you. $1,000 bucks. So if anybody wants this thing to fix, pick up in northeast New Jersey, northwest rather, $1,000 bucks. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you next time.